DC1 Enterprise is a home service contractor servicing the greater Philadelphia area. Whether you need your gutters cleaned out, a water heater replaced, or a quick kitchen upgrade, visit www.dc1enterprise.com. DC1 gets it done.
That's cool. Hey, we got the brother Lucas on the my brother Lucas on the call on the Daily American podcast. Welcome, Lucas. Congratulations on 20 plus years as a grunt in the army. What's going on today, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Dan, for having me on the show. Um, yeah, everything is going smooth in my life right now, and I'm blessed. As you said, we had 20 years of service in the Army as an infantryman. Started that journey, 2005, and enlisted out of Rochester, New York. Since then, it's been up and down. I mean, as you know, you with your time in, it was up. There was some ups, and there was a lot of downs too. Um, Yeah, but 3 combat tours. I met you on my second one. Uh, let's see.
What was
Finished up my career at Fort Hood. Actually January. So I got out a couple months ago, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
Congratulations. Well deserved, man. I'm glad life's giving you all its blessings because you just a man of honor, dude. Just an awesome dude to know, and I'm grateful we get to have this conversation today, and I'm grateful we've remained. We're not best buds, but we're certainly fucking. You're always there if I call, and God willing, I'll always be there when you call, and vice versa. But kick it off with your childhood a little bit, Lucas. I don't know shit about your childhood. What was life like growing up?
oh, life for me was a little rough. Um, so I'm black and white, and I lived in a mostly black neighborhood, and I grew up with my white mother. And so being mixed in that world back in 80s and 90s, it was a little difficult. It wasn't like, I fit in with any particular group. Um, so the neighborhood was a little rough on me. Uh, my father wasn't in the picture until I was 19. And yeah, I just had to keep my head low until I moved out of the neighborhood. But I would have to say, like, my mom, she did her best. Like, even though I didn't have a father around, she played catch with me. Taught me how to tie a tie. She tried to provide as best as she could, and I had an older brother and sister, and then 2 younger sisters. So it was a little rough, financially, and having a dad around would have been great, but I am the man I am today because he wasn't around. If that makes sense. And we had some great leaders like TK and Merrill and some of those other squad leaders that we served with. They taught me some things as well. So
Yeah, man,
I
that's
don't
freaking
think I don't
awesome.
have any regrets.
Yeah, dude, you were the man of the house. You grew up fast, dude, without having your dad active until 19 years old. It's got to be tough for anybody, but what you didn't learn when you were a child, which I'm sure you learned a shit ton. You learned from the leaders in the military. Now your son. How old your son? 18, 17,
He just turned 19 a couple months ago. He
19.
he picked up the torch. So now
Yeah,
he's
no, I
he's an
saw you.
infantryman.
I saw you pin the blue cord on him, man. That's pretty awesome. That's gotta
Oh
mean a
yeah,
lot to you, dude.
it does.
Is he
So
your firstborn? Is he your firstborn?
he's my firstborn. Yes.
Damn,
Yep.
dude. Is he a junior?
He's the fourth.
Damn. So you're
Yeah.
the third. You're Edmund Lucas the third.
The third.
What's your
Yes,
middle
sir.
name? Bartholomew?
Sheinall. It's Sheinall.
What is it?
It,
That's pretty cool. What is
she
it?
is Sheinall.
Sheinall. That's awesome, dude. That's unique. You're definitely
Yeah,
the
very unique.
only. Your family are the only Edmund Sheinall Lucases probably in the world, I would assume.
That's a good guess. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so. With Sheinall, Sheinall's unique, dude. Sheinall's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Sheinall.
it came from a African American painter. that settled somewhere in Texas.
Wow.
So that's the only history I know about it. It's from my grandma. My grandma told me that story.
And that's your
Uh,
dad's side.
correct.
Got you, got you. Now, is your mom still back in Rochester?
After 2003, she wound up moving down to Florida. She looked. There was a couple locations down there. Fort Jack, or was it Fort Jackson?
Where, in
Not Fort
Florida?
Jackson.
No, no, no.
Corrections. Jacksonville. Sorry.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Yeah,
Fort
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Fort Myer.
Yeah.
Fort Myer.
Yep.
There's Fort Myer, Jacksonville, and Bradenton. So she was kind of all over the place. My older brother wound up living down there for probably 20 years in Orlando. But then she recently moved a couple years ago to Mississippi, Macomb.
Wow, that's cool. A little bit of
Yeah.
all, northeast, down south, and then all she's got to do is make. Is Mississippi out west or no? No.
Mississippi is east of me, kind of west of you. Well,
Okay.
southwest, of course.
Guy, all she needs to do is live on the west coast, and she'll get a taste of all the United States. You know what I mean? A good taste
Right?
of it. Yeah. Shit, you've lived everywhere as well, dude. You've lived
That's true.
Korea, Germany, right?
Korea.
Oh, you
Been to
weren't in
Germany.
Germany? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been
Why
to
did I
Germany a
think you
couple
were?
times.
Oh, you've been. Oh, that's right. I think you were there. One point we were talking and you were there, so I thought you were stationed there, but I guess not. Anyhow, what's life up to now, Lucas? So now you're 20 years, freaking. You're 39 or 40. How old are you?
I am 40. I was a little late joining the army. Had a little trouble with the law, but pushed through that, and I joined at 20. But yeah, I'm 40. I am in private security, and that's a new world. I didn't even know even a percentage of this world uh, up until maybe a month ago. So this has been a unique journey for me uh, because of the retirement that I receive and the extra money from this second career. I'm blessed.
Shit,
So
dude, that's awesome. And you're not grinding like. Well, I don't know. You could be. You're not grinding like strenuously on a daily basis
no,
anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah, and the beauty about the private security world, I'm a 1099. So basically, I create my own schedule in a way. So if there's a gig that comes up, like, hey, we need you to hold security, as a bodyguard for this person. Are you in? It's only 2 days. I can say yes. I can say no, and it doesn't. And there's no penalty against me. So I pick up gigs as I want, and I tell people I can't work if I just don't want to work.
Yeah, it's freedom, dude. Ultimate freedom. Yeah, and you deserve it, dude. You have ultimate freedom right now. You know what I mean? Nah, you don't feel like working today? Nah, I actually just want to go to the gym and take a bike ride and hang out with my kids. I don't feel like doing it today, and it's not gonna like. I mean, you're retired. You've put in your time, so you're essentially set for life, dude. I mean, you're not multi-millionaire, but it doesn't matter. You have all your needs met, and you've earned it, and God bless you, dude. Now, dude, when you're doing say you got a guy, say Senator Schmidt. I just made that up. Senator Schmidt wants you to pull security for him for a week straight. Are you staying where they're staying in say a hotel? Um, how extensive does it get? Are you paid for
So
overnight?
so basically, for in that situation, I haven't dealt with a situation like that, but based on everything I know, you would get paid probably a 12-hour shift if it entails like leaving, say, the Austin area, right? Maybe the senator or whoever is from Austin, and I live in Austin. Then it'd be easy just to go back home. But say this person traveled to Dallas or El Paso, then and they needed a team there 24 hours. So I would get paid for 12 hours, and I'd have downtime. And we
Uh-huh.
have we'd have shifts, or we just do 8-hour shifts. and then we just stay in that location for the 7 days that you mentioned, and we rotate through, and then we come back home. Now, hotels should be paid for, especially if it's a travel contract. Transportation and hotel would be paid for.
Damn, dude, that's pretty sweet. Now, it seems like, I mean, I guess the Secret Service are doing their jobs, but another Trump assassination, um, this past week. I mean, how does this keep happening?
Well, I haven't looked more into that specific incident, but I think that as a country we're going backwards. We're not progressing. We're not moving forward. There's a lot of hate, and I mean, obviously, it's political hate. It's the rhetoric that's being spewed on both sides that create tension and create this hate. This is like the first time I've ever read about or heard about where multiple attempts on a president's life within. I mean, when was Butler, Pennsylvania? That was what, right before the election, so
Yeah, like a couple
almost two
years ago.
years.
Yup.
Yeah. So that it just to me that's crazy that we've come to this point in our country that we fought for freedom. Like, you can talk about things you don't like, but that doesn't mean you have to force people to like them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems, and I think it's very deliberate though. You know, they want divide between races, between everything, socioeconomic classes, because that hate and violence, and it essentially it gets attention, right? And these people want attention and they want control. It also controls. If you can get a group of people to really hate each other, you're controlling them. So there's really nothing. There's nothing like that any one person can do about it. You just got to try to spread love more. Love, have a immediate impact on your local environment, and you know, I get it. Like there's hate, and sometimes race has a lot to do with it. Like race is deliberate, or not. How do I say this? Race plays a part too in regards to this. Like your grandfather, people's grandfathers, like for instance, my dad growing up didn't like, until he was much older, he didn't like black people. I don't know why, but I know my grandmother, his adopted mom, wouldn't let like black people in the house. I remember at a very young age, she was like chasing a Mormon around the house with a broom, and screaming all sorts of like profanities because he was allowed in the house by like my brother or something. Bottom line is that all gets passed down generation to generation. So eventually it comes to a point where you got to put an end to it. You gotta just stop it rather than carry on certain traditions or certain stereotypes that get passed down like that. That's how hate exists. For instance, if you have a bad encounter with a Chinese guy, you did work on their property, you have a horrible encounter with them, and now you think, oh, all Chinese people are cheap, they're ignorant, and they're the worst customers ever. So I'm done doing business with Chinese people. Like, you can't take that one instance from that one human being and utilize that to carry on your beliefs about an entire culture or an entire group of people. It's just
Um,
like I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but
no,
that's
you
how it's
are.
like broken
I
down. You know what I mean? That's how it's like
I
broken
agree.
down. Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman, there's something going around for many years that I'm maybe misquoting and paraphrasing here though. Just don't talk about racism. Um, and what I got from that is that
That's true. True,
when
true, true.
when back to your family, for instance, your grandmother hating. or demonstrating, those reasons of don't want a black person over or whatever the case was, and then your father seeing that or hearing it, right? Now imagine if your grandmother kept that to herself, didn't say
Right.
anything about it. Your
Right.
dad probably would have had a different outcome growing up towards other people.
Yeah. True. True. Yeah.
So
Yep.
if we stop talking about it, because let's keep it real, we've been talking about and bringing awareness to racism for how long now? Since the beginning of the civil rights movement, and there's still hate.
That's a good
Now,
point. I never even thought about that, dude.
I don't think there's, I don't think hate is increased when it comes to race. I think it's there. I think honestly, there's more love in the communities for other races than there was back in the 50s, for instance. But if
Right.
we continue to talk about it, you're not shedding any new light.
Right. All it does is
It,
spread. It's just spreading
it's it,
more.
it just it
Yeah.
teaches our youth that there is a difference because of skin color, and there should never be a. It should be based on individuals, like you said when you brought up the example with a Chinese man. Like if it's a person that's being a bad customer or a bad uh, contract worker or whatever, it's the individual. It's that last name, first name and last name,
Yup.
who's the problem, not the community the person comes from. And
Yeah,
that's what
you're
we need
right
to
about
teach
that, dude.
is not let's not talk about race anymore. Let's talk about responsibilities of individuals. Has no impact on the community. It just has an impact on the individual transaction between just between two people. Like, why
Damn, dude.
can't you?
That's actually I've never. I mean, I've been around for 37 years. I've never even thought about that. I never even thought about that. Like that. Like addressing it or talking about it is essentially kind of like spreading it, right? It's just like,
Yes.
damn, dude. That's fucking brilliant.
Like if you label, we'll just take a tip, like one of those stereotypes out there. Black people like watermelon. All right. If you keep talking about black people liking watermelon, everyone's gonna look at black people like, oh, you like watermelon, right? Like it has
Right.
been for a while. Now, if you said people like watermelon, now I'm gonna assume every person on planet Earth likes watermelon.
Right.
If you
Right. Right.
say if you say Edmund likes watermelon, now we know who likes watermelon, specifically one person, Edmund.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That
Just
makes
change
sense.
change how we talk. Change how we talk. That's all it is. Now, it's great to say that. Will it ever happen? Can we ever get people to just never talk about it again? No.
Right.
Not in a perfect world. Not even in a perfect world would that even work, because there's going to be somebody out there that's going to say something and continue to grow. But that's how I view it. If you really want to get rid of racism completely, we just stop talking about it,
Right.
because talking about it keeps spreading. It just keeps educating folks to, see the difference in people based on skin color and not the character of individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a unique perspective. I guess one I was thinking about it while you were talking. I guess one downfall would be like, all right, well then if it's never addressed, then how do we? I guess we're not living in, like you said, we're not living in the 50s or 60s, or segregation's not a thing anymore. But how would that have ever been addressed if everybody took the just it doesn't exist? It's not a thing. You know what I mean?
Well, and I get what you're saying. Like, obviously there was a problem. They addressed the problem.
Yeah.
Tell
Yep.
me, tell me what you can do today that I can't do as a black man.
Right. That's one thing I agree with. Especially,
Can
yeah,
can we both vote?
yeah, everything.
Okay. Can you buy a house? Can I buy a house? Should I own a house? So, like, yes, there's nothing that can stop me today by law because of the color of my skin.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That aspect, if anything, like there's certain Um, I mean, I guess that was like the whole DEI thing. There were certain like qualifications or like, for anything, like just because somebody's homosexual doesn't mean that if everything's the same across the board or not. No, I'm sorry. If candidate A has an ability to do the job a little bit better and candidate B does not have the same qualifications or ability to fulfill the job, but they are
But
homosexual, we got to
and
go
you're
with
already at capacity with people like candidate A, but you don't have enough percentage in your company that represents candidate B.
right, right.
Yeah, I don't agree with DEI because of that. I think you should be working in a job and the employer should be picking people of higher quality for more efficiency.
Agreed.
Because imagine you have a job, you have a business, right? And you need 25% whatever, 25, 25, and then that's it, right? And you're you're in some type of manufacturing company, but you've noticed since you added DEI, like production has gone down. Well, what do? You know that you hired underqualified individuals because you're not keeping a high standard. So what do you do then? Do you just continue to suffer because you're a large company and some people think that big companies should make money? Because it's America. Like if you want to make money, make as much money as you want, because that's the freedom of that in this country. But I don't know. I think I value the quality of work that comes out of all places of employment over statistics and uh, representing different groups of people.
Yeah, whoever's most qualified. I mean, that's how you're going to have the strongest workforce. It's based off of actual like qualifications and education. So yeah, well, they did
Yeah.
away with that. I think the administration did away with DEI and all that all that
Yep.
nonsense.
That
Anyhow,
that was within the first month of administration taking over. Yes. But there are some companies that still practice DEI.
hmm.
So
But it's not necessarily federally mandatory at this point.
no, there's private companies. Yeah, there's just some private companies that still practice DEI. So
Gotcha. What's on the road? A little bit later conversation. What's on the so you're about to hop on the road. Where are you going?
oh yes. So today I will be going to Covered Six Academy in California. This academy specializes in security work, security training and certifications. I'm going to be taking their executive protection 5-week resident course. This is going to help me be a little bit more marketable here in Texas as an EP officer. It will give me my certification for the guard card to be a bodyguard and to operate in California under their state laws. For instance, say you're our client, Dan, and you live here in Austin. Well, you want to travel to California for a week. The company I work for, Company A, for instance, they say, all right, we can do this, but we're going to have to subcontract your needs to another company in California. But say Dan, you and I have a good relationship, and you like my skills as your bodyguard,
I
and
love
you
your
really want me
skills
out
as a
there.
bodyguard and your act. I love your skills as a bodyguard and like your ability to speak. You're really well spoken, bro.
Thank you, Dan.
So go
Um,
ahead, my
so
bad.
so I can only go over there as an advisor and stay close to you, but I won't be operating in an armed capacity. I will not operate as a bodyguard. I'm just an advisor or an observer.
You can do that
That
now,
could be
currently, but with this new license,
correct. I will be
that
armed and I will be your bodyguard if you traveled to California.
now how do
So
you get one? How do you get one? How do you get a federal armed security license, bro?
there's not.
There is none.
There's none. So
That keeps the
that's
market
the
competitive, though.
problem. Yeah, that's the problem in right now is that if people want to operate outside of their state, they have to go to each state and take the course, get the fingerprints taken, do the background check, and apply through each state.
Now, is that the act? Is in Pennsylvania? It's called Act 120. It's like a week long armed security course where you very basic stuff, small arms,
Right.
very very basic. Nothing like personal protection. Not in that arena. You can't karate chop anybody and take their weapon from them, right? Any cool shit like that.
No, there's really not a course out there that will teach you the karate chop in the EP world, but that would be pretty dope. If you and I get into a realm of training EP in either Pennsylvania or here in Texas, we're going to teach people how to karate chop and take guns.
All right, so dude, federally, so you cannot. So that means locally the competition it keeps the market open at the state level, right? Because if you have a federal
Correct.
company that's got a ton of money, right? Some ex CIA guy, he can have a federal company with 1,000 EP guys and control the entire market.
Correct.
But here, the way the states do it, it's kind of cool. You got to get certified through each state. But California is, I mean, you know, common sense would lead you to. I mean, there's wealthy people everywhere. But California with Hollywood there, it's a good state to perform security duties in, right?
Absolutely. So California, we all know Hollywood and Beverly Hills and the rich and famous. So that is why I chose California to be my first out of state certification and licensing for this world. My second state that I'm going to try to achieve the same credentials is New York, and I choose these two states because one, they're extremely difficult to obtain any licensing to operate with a firearm.
And you don't have to have an address there.
Um, For California, no. I will. I think in New York, you can get a non-resident guard card.
Okay, that's cool.
Oklahoma, on the other hand, you need to be a 6-month resident. I read that
Gotcha.
the other day.
Okay, let me ask you something. Are like, does every like who's obviously a lot of people that you don't know wouldn't even need security, but like right now your clientele, what's it made up of? Like bankers or politicians? Like what
So because I also do uniform armed security, and I'll include that in the list of things.
okay.
So there could be someone that's famous through podcasts and political opposition views. There could be, for instance, there's a politician that I do work for. There's places of worship, so churches and mosques. I do secure. There's CEOs and people in the business world that I've done work for as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of everywhere right now, and I want to focus more on politicians, but I'm open for anything and anything this world has to offer, especially like the EP world. The uniform security stuff. It's kind of like what we did actually it's exactly what we did overseas in Iraq. Just stand there and guard a tower or guard the ECP or protect the building or something.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same thing we did and we were trained to do. Now, when it comes to EP, is a little bit more different, and that's the realm I'm starting to, look into and starting to work, and I really enjoy it so far.
Yeah, there was actually Jr. McIntyre. Um, he he was on the podcast before. He was in our unit. He was out before I was in, but he came on the podcast, shared his story. Um, Reynoso is really close with him, and he's a solid dude. I went down there to Florida. He's cool, and he was in the executive protection field for a while with Rat Pack Security, but I think the company ended up going under, and now he's on to bigger and better things. And yeah, Byron Rogers, are you familiar with him,
I am
Lucas?
not.
So he's a former Marine, and he's really heavy in the EP game, or was. I don't know. I just heard of him through JR, and he posts some cool shit. You would definitely you would see eye to eye with him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know shit about executive protection. I know that Rat Pack, though, they did get contracted to do like the Super Bowl a couple
Oh,
years ago.
nice.
Yeah, which was cool, right? Like he wasn't the only company, but he was one of them. I don't think they were armed for that event though. I,
Okay, yeah, level two.
yeah,
Yep.
but dude, landing something like that, I mean, it's got to be big bucks, right?
It varies. So I can only speak about numbers here in Texas. So on average, your uniformed armed security makes on average maybe $20 to $30 an hour.
Uniformed,
Uh,
armed. Okay, okay,
Now, when we talk about EP, you're concealed, you're
okay,
wearing regular clothes,
okay,
most likely a suit or some type of casual wear, and they can make anywhere from 35 $40 and up
okay,
an hour. Now, if those events that like the Super Bowl, unarmed, uniformed, you can still make a pretty penny depending on the event and how much your company's charging the client. But it could be low as 15 and as high as I've seen a contract come through my message boards unarmed, uniformed, for $45 an hour. And these are just events. These are events.
yeah,
So that's I mean that's good money for not being armed.
yeah, for
So
sure. Yeah, when the risk is low, I mean 40, 45 bucks an hour just to chill and it tells me the risk is very low if you're not going to have weapons involved. But dude, I'm sure you could.
right.
I'm sure you could just do personal security. Like, bro, if I had the funds, I'd hire you full time, bro, just to hang out with me. Yo, hang out with me.
That would be fun, Dan. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
dude.
like, hey man, I gotta put these cards down real quick. I gotta do a perimeter check. All right, bro, do your thing.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. So, all right, well, dude, we're gonna let me see, we're gonna wrap this up for now, Lucas. We're gonna continue it though, at a later date. I got some shit to handle real quick, but dude, it's been an honor having you on, bro. Enjoy your freedom, dude. Don't work too hard because, I mean, brother, you've been through some fucking shit, a lot of shit. Especially being a Purple Heart recipient. And this country and myself, we thank you for your service, brother. So thanks for coming on Daily American. All right,
Dan, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me on your show.
you're the
And
best,
I
brothers.
cannot wait to see you in the future on these on the episodes.
Yes, sir. Yup. Let's make it happen, brother. We'll talk soon. All
Yes,
right.
sir. All right, you have a great day.
All right, Lucas.
All right,
See ya.
peace.